Your call is the only reason for the kind of talents and the graces that God makes available to you. Is because of your call. Your talents and your graces are gifts that accompany your calling to make your calling efficacious. The only reason for your talents, the only reason for your giftings are your calling. Is your calling. So what God intended was that out of the gifts you serve your generation in accompaniment with gifts that you have received, in order for you to prosecute your calling. It is only within the context of your calling that you understand the purpose of your gift. Many of you think that the reason why God gave you the gift of prophecy is so that you can know the future. Hallelujah. No. I had a great mentor. He's a prophet. Great mentor. He taught me how to handle the gifts of the Spirit. Because those days in Benue State, Kogi State put together, those days when we were in the 90s, the early 90s, there were only few people that operated in the gifts of the Spirit. You could count how many prophets there are from Plateau State, Benue State, and Kogi State. And in terms of the prophetic office, he was the rising star of the prophetic in the entire Middle Belt. So I learned the ways of the gifts of the Spirit from him. He was the one that taught me the kind of rigor I had to put in the closet in order for me to trap several tools that will back up my teaching ministry. Then the only thing I could operate was to teach. But he said, no, you are not equipped for ministry. You have nothing supernatural about your life that will make people believe your teaching. Then he taught me how to receive the word of the Lord. And I followed him from place to place. He was indeed a prophet. And a time came. I don't want to mention so many details so that if he hears, he will not know that he's the one I'm talking about. A time came, the prophetic grace grew. And he could look at a campaign poster and know who will win an election. His accuracy was something to reckon with. And my mentor began to sell prophecy at that time. So you drop some money before he tells you the word of the Lord. And the reason why you will sell a gift is because you don't know the purpose of your calling. The reason why you what? Sell it. Because your gift was given to you. The only reason for the gift is to vitalize the calling. So when you see someone abusing a spiritual gift, it's because the person is losing sight of his calling. When you lose sight of your calling, that is when you can begin to merchandise a gift. Merchandising gifts comes when you lose sight of your calling. Because the real substance is the calling. The gifts are spices that God makes available to make people accept the calling. Are you with me? Started selling prophecy. And he was so gifted in the prophetic. He knew things about nations. He knew things about many nations. In fact, I don't know what nation was that. And the immigration, they were questioning him because he had visas into 22 countries. And they said, what do you do that you travel so much? He says, I'm a prophet. And he must make you understand that is what he is. I'm a prophet. I'm a prophet. So he is not very tall. Though. The immigration man he said, okay, I will show you a sign that I'm a prophet. He now waved his hand like this. The power of God took the man away. So they had to beg him. Do you know that because that immigration man fell, the news, they trafficked the news to the president of the country that one prophet came, they were trying to stop him from entering, and this is what happened. The president called for that my man, and then my man, he can see the future. He can see the future, I assure you. He began to tell them the future of the nation and what they needed to do at that time. Instantly, the president gave him a gold mine. Yeah, I don't want to mention the name of the nation. Gave him a gold mine. It's that gold mine that they gave him that made him lose his calling for many years. Meanwhile, at the end of the day, is it not the calling that attracted the gold mine? Meanwhile, if your calling attracts something that is so big that it can distract you from your calling, it means that you did not go on God's timing. You were not matured for the thing that the calling brought. Are you with me? Now, there is no money in church, there is no money in ministry. Where the money is in your calling. Your calling, if you are faithful, is to attract money one day. But may it attract money when you have the stature to handle it. At the end of the day, the master will ask, what was my will fulfilled? Come with me.